should just say there was the Frank Luntz focus group, which people anticipate will always favor the right-wing candidate, although, his affiliation with Fox post-Ailes may temper that. I mean, I think the Luntz thing I always think is sort of rigged anyways, but it's less important as to whether or not it's rigged, and it's more important just because people cite it, as it, like you say, there are sort of onions to this. And,
exactly.
The Luntz thing, convinces John Podhoretz or whatever to write, Trump let us all down. And in fact, here is Frank Luntz. Let's play a clip of Frank Luntz on Charlie Rose last night, talking about how people responded to the debate. And again, I personally refer to Frank Luntz as the ethically and follically challenged Frank Luntz. So it's less relevant to me whether or not his results are genuine. More relevant to me that this enters into the bloodstream and gives us an indication of what the narrative is going to be. I mean, let's face it, folks, they have spin rooms at these debates that are more active than the debates themselves in many respects. So let's listen to this.
Not. Okay, Frank Luntz, you've been out there and you've got a focus group that you're going to be talking to or have already talked to in part. What did you think?
So we asked them when they were done, these are truly undecided voters between the candidates, and 16 of them felt that Hillary Clinton had won the debate, had brought them closer to her candidacy. Only 5 of them picked Donald Trump, and the remaining 6% were tied. There were 4 key components here. Number 1 is that Donald Trump, when he was attacking the system, he was doing well. When he was defending himself, that was a disaster. Number 2, Hillary Clinton was so well prepared for this. And I agree with what Maureen said. And I actually had written down the word baiting him within 3 minutes of the debate opening. And she did it again and again and again. And Trump responded horribly. Number 3, you don't speak over the moderator ever. And viewers, our undecideds, felt that he was, frankly, rude to Lester Holt. And number 4 is that Trump described the problems effectively, but he didn't have the solutions. She was not quite as effective in discussing the problems, but they felt that she had better answers. In the end, solutions beat problems.
All right, I'll be right back, Frank.
So there it is, Frank Luntz. And prior to that, Maureen Dowd was on, and she even had complimentary things to say. And so that creates the spin, and I think there was a focus group on CNN that came out with Clinton ahead. So you had all that. I mean, that's the sort of like objective standards, and then you see the spin. I think one of the things, too, that's going to come out of it is that this is going to change the trajectory of Trump's campaign in some way, because just like Clinton could bait him and get a reaction in real time during the debate, the fallout from the debate has the same impact.
I think so too. I mean, he does not take, to put it mildly, Trump does not take well to criticism, and he tends to double down on whatever he's done. He's not someone to willingly make course corrections. And as his co-writer Tony Schwartz, who co-wrote The Art of the Deal with him, and who's been a harsh critic, and who evidently spent a lot of time with him and kind of got to know him very well, or came to understand him anyway, how he is. He actually says that Trump is incapable of learning very much. It's just not, he's unable to focus. He doesn't have the power of any kind of intense concentration. And of course, he has all these psychological issues, this narcissism. I mean, look at what he said in the debate last night. I mean, he said basically that Clinton had only come up with solutions, economic solutions, once he entered the race, that she'd never thought about it before. And he said that NATO had developed a terrorism policy in response to his criticisms in a debate. The world revolves around him. So, he finds it very difficult, I think, to be able to adjust to this. However, they obviously will try. And I think it's pretty clear from the spin room last night how he's going to do that. He's going to take the gloves off. He came out into the spin room, which was weird in itself to see the general election candidate in the spin room, but he did it. Obviously, feeling the need to say more because the debate didn't go that well, so he had to try and shore up his his performance, and he pretty much said that he, was going to, that he didn't feel she'd been nice, and therefore he was going to take the gloves off the next time. And even Kellyanne Conway, she sort of, said that as well. Well, he has a right to defend himself, and I think he'll be tougher on her next time.
He said specifically he was going to talk about Bill's indiscretions.
Yeah. That's fine. I mean, I feel like, people. Yeah, I suspect that she is prepared for that and will, deal with that appropriately. And I think that, the country, I don't really think the country cares about Bill's indiscretions at this point. So
I got to think
that's probably a mistake.
I got to think from her campaign's perspective, they would welcome it. I mean, I think it's probably. I think that from the perspective of a campaign that wants to make him expose himself. Mm-hmm. I think that in their minds, they're like, bring it on. I got to imagine he's been talking about this for 6 months, right? He was raising the specter of this. And as uncomfortable as it might be for her, it's not like she hasn't been subjected to this. I got to imagine they are like, bring it on. This is the one that, this is what will sink him. I think in a way. But let's go over some of them. Hey folks, Sam Seder here. I just got back from a company-wide meeting. Accounting is really coming down on me hard. We need to get to 100,000 subscribers as soon as possible. So please enjoy this channel. Subscribe right down there.